Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Mystic River. It's a 6x8, and I painted this last week. I really like it. We're going to talk about it. So that board's been prepped with a couple layers of burnt sienna, and then I went over it with some all acrylic, by the way, with some transparent gesso and stuff. I'm pretty sure in that case, not the house paint. But then I went over it with some raw umber and a paper towel thinned out with a little bit of gesso. That's how we got that interesting texture, and it was quite pleasant to paint on. I just wanted to cut that burnt sienna tone a bit, and I found it a very rewarding color to paint on indeed. You see me doing my underpainting here. What I used there was burnt umber, and added some alizarin crimson to it. I just wanted a lot of red humming through things, and the reason for that is really just a lot of greens. This is kind of a greenish blue painting, and so I used the reds and the dark reds sort of as a foil. I'm real happy with the composition here. I made a choice. I have sort of painted this scene before. And that was many years ago. I want to say like 2012. I did it as a 12 by 12, and it didn't have that long tree in it. I actually kind of stole that a bit from, I think it was Dupree. Sort of just grabbed his tree and composited it in my reference. It looked pretty terrible. Actually, you could see what it looked like exactly in the members area. So, tip on over there if you're interested. That's $6 a month. But you got a lot of live videos there. I mean, you can really, I think the way to watch it is just kind of have it on in the background as you're painting, maybe sped up 1.5, something like that. Because it's real time, but little nuggets from the battle are being passed on. Anyway, that painting, like this one, there was a very interesting blue sky, so I was playing with the dark blue up against the lighter blue and some gray, and then we get into some yellows and whites. You probably saw the little preview image prior to the video there, so you know where we're headed. Anyway, the big change from when I did this. Two big changes. One, I added that big vertical tree, which I just didn't like. I don't like it now with the painting with all that even amount of sky. I feel like something's got to come into it, and I'm real happy with that decision. The other big decision was in the original reference image, I would have had that river going all the way off to our right. And instead what I did was covered it up. My theory was like, okay, well, this is some bush or something. We can just assume the river's going on some way, somehow, on the other side. Like maybe we're on a bit of a hill. Who knows? It did a bit of a challenging compositional thing, and I'm real happy with the lines in this and how it moves the eye around. And I have to say that's one big important aspect of painting. There's so many, I don't want to enumerate them right now, but composition I'd put ahead of everything else, because if the composition isn't moving the eye properly, the painting won't be settling and pleasant to look at. And so, if you don't have that, it's like the structure or it's like the armature of a statue or the foundation of a house, or more accurately, I guess, the design of the house, the architectural plans. Anyway, that painting, like this one, had the blues and stuff and greens, and I kept all that. But I made these big changes. And 6x8, I've been on a 6x8 sort of. What's that? Hey? Oh, you want me to talk about the book? You know what? There's so much great information in the book. It's $60 US. I know that's not cheap, but that includes international shipping from the pimple on the rear end of the planet that I don't mean pimple, sorry, birthmark. It's a small place. It's way a ways from every place else. It's New Zealand, and I'll ship it to you. It's the best deal you're gonna get, and you'll enjoy it. It'll add to your experience, as well as it's going to be bundled probably with some of these I say probably. I have a plan. I just don't know how I'm going to carry it out yet. I'm working on putting the finishing touches on the video courses today and the rest of the week. It's a lot of work. Anyway, bundles and stuff like that. Let's talk about this painting though. I'm more interested in that. Don't worry, we'll be hyping the video courses, and join my mailing list if you're interested. There'll be big early stuff going out there, and the way you do that's just if you go to my website and an obnoxious pop-up comes up. I don't send out many mails, so you don't need to worry about that, but I will be doing the video course thing. Anyway, let's talk about this painting. So really neat to bring in the yellows and things, and that's from this guy from the original reference I'd set up all those years ago. The challenge here was the 1, 2, 3 thing, which is good for us to talk about. Maybe that'll help you. Okay, so I have a tendency, I think I've seen it in a lot of amateur paintings as well. It's like, so when you have masses of clouds or masses of tree, there's a tendency to have too regular of your shapes and too frequent of an order. That's why I call it 1, 2, 3. So that could have happened with that blue clouds on our left and the 2 gray, but I kept working on it, trying to get them broke up and changed a little. And also there could have happened very easily on the tree, but you see the masses, the way I broke it up as the intervals, there's a larger space between that middle mass and the highest mass, so, and then the lowest mass is bigger. So that's how you want to break things up. But sometimes I struggle. And, well, I mean, I don't know, not in the negative meaning of the word, I want to make that clear, but you miss things, or there's a lot to landscape painting. Like I was saying earlier, basic composition, then you got these things like breaking up your masses properly, you got good distribution of your values, right, interesting, and good contrasts, and nice rich color, things like that. One of the things I think was, so I'm going in with my black here, and it's been adulterated with some burn number, and I think I threw in some more of that alizarin crimson. I was just feeling it. And a lot of that red, the rich red color ends up peeking through in a lot of spaces. And then I'm giving you a lot of tricks and tips and secrets on this one. Just getting you ready for the kind of stuff that's going to get laid on you in these video courses, because I love passing on information, and I've been doing it for free for years, and you can believe with the courses that I'm really going to try my best to maximize things. Like I spent days just making a part of the video where when I pick a color it pops up and the name of it, so you don't have to guess, things like that. Anyway, we're getting off the subject, but getting back to this painting, all the red, I'm working off the red. Sometimes I'm grabbing a bit of oil and not that much of the green, and not going too heavy over the red so it hums through, or I mix a tone with a bucket full of red in it and it seems very similar to the board color, and I kind of scrub that in. That's that patch on the bottom there. But I'm also always trying to move the color and modulate it and change it. You know, you don't want to just, if you painted this whole mass of trees with just one green. Now there's another thing in that tree mass there on our furthest right. You can see this kind of 1, 2, 3 thing going, which I was aware of. I was working on it, you know. I'm trying to break it up. But I also wanted to have my interval set up properly. Oh, hey, do you like my videos? I love a comment, even a smiley face. Thanks, Mike. That's all you got to do. If you're a lurker, trust me, I know. I'm a lurker too. But, you know, it makes, you know, sometimes I don't really even look at things like views. And the like button, yeah, it's great. Click the like button right before you leave me a comment. I appreciate it. Anyway, you know, support me any way you can, but that's like the basic. You know, if you're coming here all the time and listen to me burble and pass on whatever nuggets I can muster up, you know, leave me a comment. Mike, thanks. Or nice painting, Mike. Whatever. Thanks for the memories. Anywho, so one thing I played with this painting, and again, members area, you got the 4K, so if you have a monitor with that capability, you really can see it. I not so much struggled with that mass. I wanted there to be more light as these shapes moved towards the end of our river. And I put the lightest light there, so we know we're headed to the end of the river anyway. Fiddled a lot with that shore too. Yeah, it turned out fine. One of the things that I did, I think, in hindsight, I was like a little like, well, that was a bit experimental, as I just pulled down sky right into the farthest tree masses, and so you get these kind of long strokes. I think it looks good. I think the reason I left it, I would have left it in the moment as I was painting, is that I felt that it conveyed the feeling of light that I was going for, and I'm always trying to do that. I'm always trying to get some distance and things, and you always think about that if you can. You really want a progression. Like in this painting, obviously it's a little darker in the foreground, and we're moving into the light. It's whatever time of day it is, and it seems like it's not, middle of the day. There's a lot of light, there's a lot of dark. And I was looking at some of my work from quite a while back, 2010, 2011, where my idea of tonalism was holding back on the lights, and my darks were fairly dark, but maybe 20%. My lights are 20% darker than they are here. That's something I changed about 6, 7, maybe 8, 9 years ago. It's hard to say. I'm not keeping track too well. I did change it, and I try and go quite bright, but I'm nowhere near the white that comes out of that tube. To me, that's reserved for, I don't know, I never go there. It's like, it would just be too much. I pushed it very far in this painting, though, I want to say, farther than I usually do. And the other thing is that we got just a minute here, so we'll try and wrap up the burbling. Hopefully you got some good insights into painting. I want you to notice that I didn't really work too well on delineating what particular bushes or shapes were doing this or that. I just kind of went with the pattern that I thought felt groovy. And the one thing as I try to remember now is a lot of times I might make the top of something dark. I won't always just make the bottom of something dark, and that gives a lot more variety and interest. And you can see that sometimes in your photos if you're paying attention to it. But either way, that's the other thing. I'm not cleaving too tight to the reference image. It was really just grist for the mill. Just something there to stimulate and spark the imagination. But I didn't want to overdo the brushwork. This painting, as you'll be able to see in the members area because it's real time, probably about an hour and a half, with the initial color mixing session being, I don't know, 10 minutes. And that's good because it gives you a whole breakdown of the basic palette of the painting. Also, if you're into a member or whatever, you don't only get to see the reference image, but you just shoot me an email too if you want to take your own crack at it. Like I said, I don't mind because I deviate pretty intensely. I work hard on my reference images too, I really do, to make them interesting, but it's all about the painting. Anyway, that's it for today's video. It's kind of a bonus video, going to be middle of the week video. And until I come back with another one for your edification, hopefully for your edification and enjoyment and education, we try. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Thanks for spending the time, especially get to the end here. Give me the likes and comments, and take good care. Stay out of trouble. God bless you and your family.